But yeah, we on and we good. Shout out to y'all for joining the show. Shout out to y'all for joining the show. I really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody listening on Wiz, and shout out to C Solo for joining the Real World J podcast show. And we're talking about healing power and healing through toxic, you know what I'm saying? Healing through toxic relationship, toxic people, toxic friendships, you know. That, you know what I'm saying? That's like that's like some of the worst hurt though. That's like church hurt. But not funny though when you're going through it. And I've been through it. So we're all gonna talk about it, you know what I'm saying? We're all gonna rap about it on the Real World J podcast show at first, you know what I'm saying? We always start with a vibe of the show to get this show going. It's like walking music. You know how I go. To get the, you know what I'm saying, get the flow going, get the crowd going, you know what I'm saying, just get the flow of the show. You know how we do this, we call it walking music, then we get to a quote, and then we get to the bones of the show. And that's how we do it on the Real World J podcast show. I'm your host, Full Circle J. I call it J. Unapologetic J. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. Let's vibe right now.
Staring at you naked, hotel room in Vegas. I love you but I hate it, and we can't tell anyone. Take this love and break it. I don't think I can take it. Go back to him and fake it. Don't tell him what you've done. But when we're caught in this feeling, and I taste your love, and I taste your love, whatever the meaning, well, it's not enough. No, it's not enough. I want to believe in a thing called love, in a thing called love. Caught in this feeling, in this feeling, in this feeling.
Healing power.
Don't give me those eyes, 'cause you know me and I can't say no to you. We can have each other, even if we wanted to. In another life, darling, I'd do anything to be with you. We can have each other, even if we wanted to. Don't give me those eyes.
Yeah, some people give
Don't give me those eyes.
And you fall right back in the trap.
Cross your heart and swear it.
You did cross your heart.
Hotel room in Paris. Kills me that you're married. 'Cause we know
back at the
this
same
should
place.
be done. But when we're caught in this feeling, and I taste your love, and I taste your love, whatever the meaning, well, it's not enough. No, it's not enough. I want to believe in a thing called love, in a thing called love.
We gotta break this cycle so we can heal. You know, healing is, you know, like, it's a such thing as called self-healing. Some of it, just a little bit, you gotta do it yourself, and then the rest you gotta give it to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But some of you gotta, because you gotta know, like, even if, because in the end of the day, you gotta know, like, even though he knows, but you gotta know what you praying for, so you gotta know what you gotta heal from, gotta help get healed from. And you know what I mean? So it's direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you really gotta accept it, and you really gotta, you know, see it for what it really is, and you really gotta, you know what I'm saying, you really gotta face it, and you know what I'm saying, embrace it, you know. No matter how it hurts. Because, like, what's really a vicious cycle, and this comes from, like, toxic relationships, is that people go back to the same person that hurt them, but they complain about that they're doing the same thing over and over again. See, you know what I'm saying? It's like a person can be like, man, that person did me so wrong. I'm just horrible and miserable. But every time you leave, you go back. And then people keep saying, well, we got so much history. Well, so much bad. Why are you going back to so much bad history? Because history is history. History, we learn from history. And if and every single time that is bad, and you ain't learned from the history that is bad, then who's the problem? Because you're creating it, because you're creating more history every single time you go back. Every single time you stay. Every single time you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Every single time you somewhere that you don't want to be, that you truly don't want to be, and you truly unhappy. I mean, at the end of the day, it is your right to fight for it, but it also is your right to let it go. You can fix things. I'm a believer in, and this is just what, this is my truth. Like, I feel like you can fix whatever broken. You can't fix whatever shattered. It's just too much. And sometimes it's okay to put that some things be like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Because when some things are destroyed, it's destroyed. You can't you can't repair things, but it'll never work the same. And especially if you're going into it trying to get the whole thing back. So how that work? And and like healing power, like healing, like one of the things that you can do, you know what I'm saying, about having healing and healing power is like forgiving yourself. Like, because you can pray, you know what I'm saying? Because you can pray to the Lord and say, man, Lord, forgive me for X, Y, and Z. But if you haven't forgiven yourself, he forgave you, but you haven't forgiven yourself. That's the problem. That's the situation. Because sometimes the reason why we are in, one of the reasons why we do suffer in pain is because we are so we're so caught up in what we did. I get that. You're supposed to. So you're supposed to learn. If you really mean it, you're learning, and you probably never do it again. So if you use it for that and that and that, you use it for that, and you turn it to a life lesson, and now and not and not a loss. And then you move on. I know it's easy said and done, especially if you inflicted pain on people that you truly love. You truly love, especially if you inflicted pain on people on truly that your life would be different. You know what I'm saying? Without them, in your mind, in your perspective, in your world. And not in a good way, because you really do cherish them, so you understand your life, you understand your, how you feel, your life, everything. So I can understand how that can be like devastating, because you at the end of the day, I did that to someone that, when you cherish something, you feel like it doesn't deserve any type of treatment, but the best, you know what I'm saying? And, and you think, because you think like, man, I treated them like someone would treat them off on the street. And that's not what, that's not what I'm here for. And, but at the end of the day, when you commit a crime, there's a punishment. Then also, that's when you're free. You gotta get out of that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get out of that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, once you're free, you know what I'm saying? Once you're free, you gotta get out of that jail mentality. You ain't still locked up. You're free. But we trap ourselves because, one of the things we do, we don't forgive ourselves. Shout out to Daily Swift. Shout out to Candace Dale. Shout out to K Jeter. Shout out to Mojo. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate it. Shout out to Her Majesty Abby. Shout out to you. Shout out to shout out to Michael J. Shout out to Not Compromise. Compromise? I'm sorry, you know better flow. Shout out to Kelly Swanson. Coach. Yeah. Shout out to T Solo. Appreciate y'all for joining the show, man. Good show. A great show. Cause that's how we do it on the Real World J podcast show. Yeah. A lot of people say, what he say? He say a lot of people stay in stimulation for a long time. Yeah, for a long time. Yeah, they do. Absolutely do. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Cause like the worst, like the worst thing you can man, like especially for me, and I know for a lot of people, I don't know for a lot of people what I'm saying, but I'm pretty sure for a lot of people, but like being in your head, being stuck in your head, and nowhere to go, it's a horrible. He said they tell prison stories like they're good memories, right? And like I don't understand. It's like you'll stay with a person, you be like, man, but you know, we got history. Like, and go back to what I was saying about someone being with somebody, holding on to someone because I got history. But all the history you're saying is bad history. So if you already know what the story, if you already know what the story entails, you should be like, you know what? That's a bad story. That was a bad movie. I mean, you know what I mean? So you know what? Let's actually flip my page of my life and go to the next chapter. Your story is already written, though. But you have to you gotta make the right decisions. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta you remember at the end of the day, you can't be the villain of your story and expect the movie to come out your way, aka your life. You have to be the hero. And sometimes I don't understand people. I'm gonna break this down to you, and some people don't get this, but I'm gonna make this make sense. Think about it. Sometimes you have to be the villain in someone else's life to be the hero in yours. That make sense? Sometimes you have to be the villain in someone's life, so you can be the hero in yours. Right? I'm gonna give you an example if that don't make sense. Are you like what? Okay, I got you. Full circle, J. Real World J podcast show. Let's go. Shout out to everybody who's watching, everybody who's listening. It's like this, for example, like. If you, say for example, like if you were in a bad, like let's say that you're in a bad situation, right? Say that you're in a bad, you're in a relationship with someone, you're in a bad situation. I mean, that like they're verbally abusing you. They, you know what I'm saying? They're mentally abusing you. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it. They're just a bad man, bad guy. You know. It's like, but y'all don't. But see, the scenario is then y'all don't have no kids together. So it's like, what you really holding on to? Because if you just holding on to the verbal abuse and the physical abuse, that just. You know what I mean? And then so if you're not holding on to that, so you gotta be like, for For you to be the hero in your life, you got to let them go. And you're going to be the villain in their life because you taking away something that they didn't appreciate. Something that they didn't take pride of. Something that they didn't want to lead. So they didn't want to take care of this period. And so they all mad at you. And you the bad person because you gave up on them. Look what you doing. What else are supposed to do? Keep on being the doormat, and I'm the person that I can walk in the house. No, that's not how that works. And so now you the bad guy, you the bad woman. You know what I'm saying? You can't give up on someone who ain't trying. You know, at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words. And if you got to leave somebody on that bus stop with their TV and they, you know what I'm saying, their TV and their blanket and their hoodie on, and it's 100 degrees outside, for you know what I'm saying, for you to drop the villain off at the bus stop so you can be the hero in your life, so you can do the thing, so you can do what you need to do, you can do what God's plan, you know what I'm saying, you can do what you need to do, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. Sometimes the toughest decision is the toughest decisions that we have to remove in our life is sometimes the most important people in our lives. It is very, 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 very okay. It is very okay to discontinue someone out of your life. You know why? Everything has an expiration date. We do, as people. Food. I mean, what? So, you can't grow fruit in a toxic environment. You can't. What's going to happen? It's going to kill it all. It's going to kill your hopes and dreams. It's going to kill everything because you're trying to grow something that's toxic. It's not going to work. It just grow more. You just add more things to the toxic, whatever it is. And it's not good. Because at the end of the day, there's someone who's not building with you, they're taking away from you. So how dare you put energy in someone who's not even, you know what I'm saying, who's not walking with you, they following you. That ain't it. That ain't it at all. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? He said there is no water to make. There is no water to make you plant grow. Nope. If ain't no if someone to plant, if you don't got no one who really, you know, so if you don't got no one, if you the plant, if you don't got no one to water you, you ain't gonna grow. You know what? I don't want that person around because they too sorry to pick up the goddamn water bucket. All you gotta do is do this. All you gotta do that. You got one job, and you can't do that. Hope, get her off me. Hope, get her off me. Hope, get around me. Hope, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, get away from me. You toxic like a mug. That's like, you don't even care. But you want everything to work, though. You want everything to work. But, like, you know the worst thing? Knowing that someone love you and they see you struggling and they won't help you. I was like, shit, I could have just been outside on the street for that. Like, for real. Shout out to everybody listening. You can y'all can watch us on YouTube Live, Spotify. Like for real though, like you gotta understand, like you gotta have people around you that's gonna one of the things I had to heal from is being with people that I love, like, you know what I'm saying, I love with like all my heart. Didn't love me the same. It wasn't the same. Instead of unconditional love, it was conditional love. Gotta know the difference. Cause like unconditional love is, you know what I'm saying, you and a person can never be enemies because they've been such a good human to you. You know what I mean? And then conditional love is on their conditions. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's only good when it's good, but what's, you know what I'm saying? But how, you know what I'm saying? How, you know, if you have the same reaction when it's bad, then you know you got a winner. You know they're there for you. And just not there for whatever come next. You gotta recognize that. And you know what I'm saying? And if, you know what I'm saying? And if you ever been used in life, you ever been used, or you being used right now, I know you gotta hear from that. Cause that stuff hurts. And then especially one of the things about being used is being known you being used. Sometimes it get out of control, you can't stop it. But sometimes you don't want to stop it because if you stop it, the person will leave. Do you think that's unconditional love, or do you think that's conditional love that you put on someone? Well, I go through this because I don't want them to leave. And that benefits you in some kind of way. Because a balanced relationship is a healthy relationship. See? Even when it, man, sad to say, because I am saying that I've been through it. Even when it comes to money, because typically, man, and it's sad. This is sad. What I'm gonna say. It's sad too because I don't believe it should be this way. I really don't. I don't feel like that conditions on our unconditional love, as you say, has to do anything with my paycheck. As long as I have effort, as long as I have a drive, as long as I'm on time, as long as I got the will to never give up. There's a whole lot of quality that benefits just not the world, but you. But, you know, you judge someone about how much they're making with their paycheck. With unconditional love, it doesn't matter. With conditional love, it matters. But with conditional love, it does. With conditional love, it does matter. But also, though, real talk in real life, though, can't knock a woman who I can't knock a woman who don't want a man I can't knock a woman who don't want a man who make $10 an hour. I get it. I get it. Swear to God, I wouldn't even be mad at you. I'd be like, I mean, you know, because that shit especially that shit don't fit your life and where you're trying to go, a $10 nigga ain't gonna help you. If that's how you think, I salute you. I ain't mad at you. Shit made sense to me. Just for example, like if I was single, like, you know what I'm saying, like I wouldn't date a woman who didn't have a job. I understand the situation, but if the situation ain't right, then we ain't gonna be right. I bet, you know what I'm saying? Cause we need to do what we need to do. I like to do what I need to do, and you should like to do what you need to do, and we should be able to do that with no problem. You know, at the end of the day, like money, like money problems kills a lot of relationships and a lot of marriages. They make that the focal point and not the reason why they both there together. It's unconditional love. You know? Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, cause then you make money. Then you make money your God. Cause you worry about losing everything. Yeah, you did the labor though, but it was all given to you. So I realized that. Once I realized that, that was good. Everything else. Whatever given can be taken away. Even a gift. If you mishandle it, why would not take it back? I get it. Swear to God, I do. Shout out to everybody listening on Wisdom, Devon, Amos, Janelle, Praise, Kels. Shout out to y'all. 15. Shoot. Man, yeah. Cause you gotta understand that. Like, and you know what I'm saying? And that's sad too, cause that's not how y'all started. So that shouldn't be how y'all end. Shout out to the 17 listeners on Wisdom. We appreciate y'all. And y'all always come through. I always come through. Appreciate y'all. I mean, I guess I'm doing something right. You know, and so with that, it's like, sad. Like for example, like if somebody would leave you because you lost your job, it all depends how you lost your job though. If you lost your job because you up there high and cutting up, then you know what? It's just what you do, man. And you just got caught. Got you know what I'm saying? You up there drunk and you run, you know what I'm saying? And you run through Rawls and Fort Mill. Can't get mad at somebody be like, you know what? Nope. I get it. I understand a layoff, man, whatever case may be, whatever, but people still change on you because they don't look at you the same. It's like they hope faded away or something. They never said it out loud. Don't mean you don't know it. Don't mean you don't feel it. Because everything feels different when it's different. Didn't know. So, we know. I've been there. I'm talking about, I remember in 2020, I was like, man, but damn it hit. And I remember, like, I got laid out. I was like, dang. Man, I was like, so I'm like, man, I'm 40 and I was like, oh, damn, I was like, what the hell? I was like 37. I ain't never filed for unemployment. I ain't never filed for food stamp. Like, I'm doing all this now. I'm like, what the hell? And then I just kind of just waited this shit out. And I suppose, I mean, you know. And then soon the opportunity came, I broke through. That's how you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta understand that, you know what I'm saying, you can't get frustrated in your season. You go through a season, you know what I'm saying? Season is winter, spring, fall, winter. And what you're going through is not what you're gonna go through forever. It's not gonna go. You're not gonna go through it forever. Especially if you have patience in the situation. Especially if you have a plan about the situation. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you are the plan. You gotta believe in that. You gotta believe in that starts with you. That starts with you first, and the rest will follow. I stop. Who cares? Nobody else don't believe. You believe. It only takes one person. Because if you don't believe, how do you expect somebody else to believe? If you don't care, then why would anybody else care? Why put energy in things that you don't care about? And you can't expect people to put energy into something that doesn't exist because you destroyed it. Because you know what I'm saying, because you gave up. As long as you don't give up, I don't give up. I don't want nobody. If anybody got a dream, if you say you love me, if you got a dream, you make it. I know I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be the person in your memories every time. I remember. You gonna always want me around. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's a good circle. And that's good people to have. See, because that's not a toxic person in your life. Because a toxic person, like somebody, like I'm gonna put it like this: somebody who with you, we help you with a problem, not cause more problems. That's the difference between a friend and a toxic friend, and someone toxic in your life. Especially if they help you cause more problems in a situation that you need help in. Wow, it's facts though. Because sometimes, you know, we all been there. Like, we call it a homeboy, we call it a homegirl. We know we're doing bad, but we talk to them about the bad, but we talk to other people about everything else. That one that understand he don't care because you don't care. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Homegirl, homeboy. You think that's healthy? I would just want to be around the people who just want to stir me straight and lift me up. Even when I look, you know what I'm saying? Even if I turn around, you know, someone that you got somebody be like, man, look forward, dog. Okay, if you out, because at the end of the day, you can't move forwards if you're always looking backwards. Yeah, it's gonna trip over something. How is that not a fact? Where's the lie in it? And that goes with healing. You can't look forward. You can't. If you try to look forward, you can't look backwards. You can't look. You can't move forward. So you're always looking backwards. Because if you're looking backwards, you look back for too long. You driving, you looking the whole time you driving by, you looking in the rearview mirror, and then they're in the back seat, and then they're in the passenger seat, and then they're driving again. Can't move forward if you're always looking backwards. Full circle J. Let's go. Damn, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you kind of decide what path you're going to go on. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually, mentally, you know what I'm saying? Emotionally, like every day. You know, if you do something forwards and put effort into the forward progress, the bad won't be so bad every day. Because that's healing. Moving forward from the situation and making it better. Just sitting in it. It's like just sitting in the graveyard and expect to get like answers and, you know, food and food for thought and knowledge and nah. You know what I'm saying? That's living in suffering. That's living in pain. And you expect to live, so you can't expect to go to a great society and expect to grow, because there's never there people there that ain't growing. So why go there? And don't call that's not your happy place if you sad the whole time. Make it make sense. You go in this place, this sulking place, or this place in your mind for like hours, or hours at a time, or end up adding up to hours at a time. That's a waste of time. You know what you could be doing? Anything else with that? You could have been working on what, you know what I'm saying, what you sulking on. That's healing. That's taking care of yourself. Because if you don't heal yourself, or like if you don't help the process of healing yourself, then you always, you know what I'm saying, then you just gonna put out bad product. Because you only gonna whatever's in you, that's what you gonna put out. So if you damage good, if you damage, then you gonna put out damaged things. You know what I'm saying? You gonna put out damaged product. I just try to make it make sense. And you know, like one of the, like, you know what I'm saying, like one of the words, like shout out to the 19 people listening to Wisdom. Appreciate y'all. You love. Shout out to Mercy Ann, the Untouchable. Appreciate you. Queen of Swords. Shout out to you. Shout out to Monique. Shout out to Roman. Shout out, I got Daryl. Really appreciate y'all for joining the show. 20 listeners. Really appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody listening on YouTube Live. B Will, my brother from my mother. I think this is the first time he called me live. I love it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When you show love, people show you love back. That's what, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I am. Like, I'm a type of person, man. You know what I'm saying? If you do good, you know what I'm saying? That if you do good, good will follow you. And if you do bad, bad will follow you. You know what I'm saying? That's just how. To me, it should just make sense. You know what I'm saying? It should just make sense. You know, I said things are bad. Of course, things are bad. Thing. You know what I'm saying? Trials and tribulations and hurdles that happen. But at the end of the day, I tell people, not in the day, but I'm just saying, like I have said this many a times that, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, focus more on the plan and less the hurdles. Because it's still, the plan is still at the end. If you focus on the hurdle, then you lose focus on the plan. And then the plan get lost and you stuck. And all that time that you could have been stuck, you could have been, you know what I'm saying, jumping another hurdle. You know what I'm saying? It's all gonna be a hurdle to your goal. You just gotta You gotta just make sure you heal from the hurt and keep jumping on the next one. The hurt, heal from the hurt, jump from the next one. And that's really our, you know what I'm saying? That's really our aspects, you know what I'm saying, of life. You know, like, you know, because it's like one of like I tell people like I say it a lot on the show, but like one of the worst things that you can do is bleed on someone who didn't even cut you. That's the worst thing you can do. Bleed on someone who didn't even cut you. And that's the quote of the day. Let's go. Ha ha. Yeah. People do that all the time. People come to other people, and you know what I'm saying, force themselves in people's lives when they damaged and bruised and bloodied up, you know what I'm saying, and scratched up, and then they expect the person that they forced in their life to heal them. They don't even know where to start. And don't you think that's kind of rude? I'm chilling and then blood is everywhere because you know what I'm saying? Because you came around, because you walked in the door. Chaos and anarchy. Like, you know that you have a negative energy if you can bring, if a positive energy is in the room and if you bring negative. But then you say everybody a problem. But you walked in a positive room and it got negative when you walked in. Don't see yourself in that one, huh? Don't recognize you're a problem, huh? You have to see you. And one of the things about healing, oh God, this is one of the toughest things too. Seeing yourself. And you know what I'm saying? I'm breaking down old school word. People don't know what that means. That means looking yourself in the mirror. Oh man, because you have to love yourself first. You can't expect someone to love you if you don't love yourself. If you don't know how, you know what I'm saying. If you don't know how, you know what I'm saying. Especially how, like, why would you want to be in a loving relationship and don't know how to love? That person will always be miserable. You know what I'm saying? That's facts. I say, what was I talking about? I don't even know what I was talking about. I really lost what I was talking about. Bobby haven't had a marker. I forgot what I was talking about. Truly. But anybody want to chime in, or, you know what I'm saying, talk that talk, or join, you know what I'm saying, you can, you know what I'm saying, hit the ass button, the like button, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, if I said something, you want to say something, you know what I'm saying, we're a community, you know what I'm saying, that's how we grow. We're a community, one person telling the whole story, and everybody listening, history and tell you that's a dictatorship. Nothing good comes out of that. But when you have a community, when everybody talking to each other, they grow. Everybody got ideas and everybody got plans. You know what I'm saying? And everybody got great ideas. And people will follow a great idea. And some people will follow a bad plan. And you can't have people in your life who follow bad plans. Because the majority of the time they expect you to clean up their poor decision. And that's a waste of time. Especially if you do it every single time. You're what we call damage control. And at the end of the day, you're an enabler. If they know, the person every time they're going to mess up and you're going to clean it up, Why would I not make misses? Real World J Podcast Show. Let's go. Because you got like, like sometimes healing is letting someone go. Brother, sister, kids, whoever. Because you're not growing from there. You're just going in a circle, and you wonder why you're tired. Because people only get tired when they go in circles. When you know what I'm saying, when you reach for your goal and your goal, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, you dodging the obstacles, you know what I'm saying, you making things happen. You don't never get tired of that. You tired, but you ain't tired. We running in circles. You sick and tired. It's the difference. Because with that goal, you have a second win. When the other one, you have none. You don't supposed to. Because at the end of the day, you see no light at the end of the tunnel. So why put any effort to it? So why put effort into it? But some people put their effort all into a circle, and that's what we call a vicious cycle. And our goal is to break vicious cycles. And healing, because a lot of people go to another person or they jump into a situation when they didn't even heal from the last situation. That's when I was saying, you know what I'm saying, don't ever bleed on someone who didn't cut you. Because at the end of the day, how rude, like I was saying earlier, how rude is that? So, for example, you all bruised, you bleed it up, you know what I'm saying? Someone almost cut your throat, they gas your arm, you know what I'm saying? They gas your back, and then you go into the new relationship. But all this, he supposed to, so this new guy supposed to bandage you up. He supposed to, you know what I'm saying? He supposed to help you with your mental. He supposed to, you know what I'm saying? He supposed to help you with the trauma you just dealt with, and deal with you. And he's still trying to find out you. But I don't think he knows what you've been through. Woo! Can't tell me that don't start off toxic. You can't tell me that don't start off toxic. And then whatever he got going on in his head, or what he do. You see how they can be toxic? Yeah, it start out toxic. It's gonna the middle, at the beginning, the middle, the end. It's a horrible movie. Horrible show. Horrible book. Like, you don't supposed to love tragedy. You're supposed to embrace and love triumph. You're not meant for her to suffer, but you're not meant for her. You're not meant to be here for other people. No, like, you're not here to. You're not. I'm trying to say, you're not here for people to inflict pain on you, mentally, emotionally, verbally. You're that as one thing that you're not here for in this world for someone else. I know that happened in the back in the days and throughout time, throughout history, went throughout history. But that was not. That's not the plan. Somebody created that. Like you on here to be happy, to experience joy, to have joy, to have compassion, to be a human because you are a human. So be a human to other humans. That's how we break the vicious cycle. That's how we make the world a better place. If we have more good people than bad people. That's how it works, right? Because right now we got more bad people than good people. But we're coming through. We're breaking through. That's why we're here. Yeah. Yeah, we on all major platforms. You can download us. We are actually on season 7, episode 2, healing power. And we gotta, and like within healing, like you gotta understand, like, so like we are our best friend. We are our worst enemy. Sometimes we do so. Even when we are disgusted with ourselves, even when the times we can't even look in the mirror, even in the times that we can't get up out the bed, you still have to tell yourself it's okay. Even if you did it. But you know why? That is a positive start of your day and a positive start of your situation. How you start in the beginning, that's how you gonna do. That's how you gonna be in the middle, and that's how you gonna be at the end. Because if you tell yourself you don't want to do something, you're not gonna do nothing. You're not gonna do nothing about it. And if you don't do nothing about it, don't complain about it. So at the end of the day, it's like somebody can hear your sad story at the end of the day, but in the movie we still want to see what happens after the tragedy, the triumph. At the end of the day, if you can turn tragedy to triumph, you're healed. Healing is also, you know what I'm saying, healing power also is be able to take a hit, come back from it, and do it again. That's healing. Cause that arm ain't bruised. Cause you can, cause you gonna need that arm to swing, to make whatever move you gonna make. Sometimes you gotta heal fast. You gotta. I ain't saying move fast and healing though, but don't take your damn time. Because that's living in pain. That's the definition of, that's just, you're not really living life, you're just existing. And just existing a life is an inconsistent life. Is very, if you want to say, not normal. Because I think the majority of people would just want peace. And if your thing is, I love watching the world burn, and if you can't have people like that in your life. They got their own certain type of group. That's why they can't. That's why they can't hang out together. Cause they're just setting each other on fire. That's how they go to places. The places they'll build and try to tear them down. And you gotta hear from that you allowed that, and you was a part of that, and you did that. If you in that situation. Appreciate y'all for listening. This is the hour mark. Really appreciate you listening. Shout out to Flint for listening on Wisdom. We appreciate y'all. Real World J Podcast Show. You can listen to us on Spotify, our Heart Radio, speaker, Spotify, our Heart Radio. What I say, Apple Podcast. You got an iPhone. No excuse. All you gotta do is go to Apple Podcast. Apple Podcast is already installed app on your phone. All you gotta do is hit the app, type in Real World J Podcast Show, and boom, I'm already in your phone. All you gotta do is type me in. If you can type in your favorite rapper, you can type in the Real World J Show. We're on the same level. I probably got more downloads than them. I'm platinum in the podcast world. Man, and everybody got Gmail, so everybody got a Google Podcast. No excuse. Type in the Real World J Podcast Show. It's already in your phone. Where's the lie in it? Love y'all. We out. back.